On this episode of the Crizz's Cheesing It Up, we have Grand Noir. It's a blue cheese and a world champion winner. Stay tuned. Blue cheese originated in France around the 7th century, and since then there's been many different varieties of blue cheeses out there depending on the country that the blue cheese is from. But as mentioned in prior videos, some of the distinguishing traits of all blue cheeses is really the bluish veining spread throughout the cheese. Like many blue cheeses, this Grand Noir cheese is made with cow's milk. However, what makes this cheese really unique is the wax ring that's on the outside of the cheese. Most blue cheeses are made with tin foil on the outside and the wraps just to continue that throughout the aging process. This cheese being dipped directly in black wax, which tends to hold the moisture in a little bit more. So I'm curious if this actually makes a difference in the overall taste of the cheese. As mentioned earlier, this is a former world champion winner, so it's gotta be relatively tasty. This cheese runs $20.99 a pound, so definitely not one of the cheaper cheeses, but for a grand champion, you would certainly expect to pay a little bit more for this cheese. So this is a half-pound block running around $11. As you can tell, you definitely spend quite a bit of money on cheese. Is it worth it? Well, in prior videos, we talked a lot about the premium quality cheddars versus some of the more budget-friendly cheddars, and it absolutely has made a difference. And I think you'll taste the difference in many of these more expensive cheeses as well. Typically higher quality ingredients, more care put into these cheeses as well. So let's go ahead, let's give this cheese a try. So I just unwrapped this cheese, can give it a smell. Definitely has that very classic blue cheese stank on the cheese. So if you're not somebody that enjoys that smell, you may not necessarily be the biggest fan of blue cheeses, unless if it's doused in your dressing and mixed in with a whole bunch of cream. For this type of cheese, there is the wax ring that's around it. I'm gonna take this off. It really wouldn't be that tasty if you were to eat it in the wax. I'm pretty excited about this cheese here. Oh yeah, look at that, very creamy. One thing that I will notice about this cheese, I mentioned earlier, very wet, so everything does hold together. Sometimes blue cheese, you definitely get it to be a little bit crumbly. This one's not crumbly at all, and I accredit that to the black wax ring. So let's see if it actually makes a difference in taste. Very salty, very tasty. It's definitely up there with some of the best blue cheeses that we've had. Extremely creamy. Definitely pick up that very pungent bitterness and the mid-range flavor. However, on the back end, you pick up a little bit of sweetness. This has a lot of different flavors in it. Same taste, so very salty in the beginning. Then in the mid-taste, you start getting the pungent taste of the classic blue cheese. On the back end, you start getting a little bit of sweetness associated with that, which is pretty unique for a lot of different types of blue cheese. Overall, probably give this in mid-9s maybe, 9.4. Probably somewhere around there among the blue cheese category. If you're not somebody that likes blue cheese, but likes some of the creamier cheeses, this is probably gonna be a really good alternative for you and good way of getting more into blue cheeses. Yeah, this is really good. High recommendation from the Crizz's Cheesing It Up. And until next time, keep cheesing it up.